All right, Miss Kathleen, what are we cooking tonight?
We are doing a butternut squash alfredo. And then we're going to take it to the next level and try it with a banana squash because that banana squash was giant.
So I may or may not have planted many winter squash that I've never actually eaten before. So this is my attempt to try it in recipes and see how it works. I like it plain, but it's not as smooth as the banana nut squash. Butternut squash. But it's a little bit like sweeter at the end.
The recipe was inspired by a one-pot recipe I found on Tasty. Oh, it's raining outside. On Tasty, but then we've made it vegan because theirs calls for heavy cream and stuff like that. And so the almond milk, the nuttiness of the almond milk might actually make that a little bit smoother.
But it has Parmesan cheese in it, so this recipe is not vegan.
This recipe is not vegan, but I've changed it to be vegan before.
Right.
Was my point.
Yes. So you can make this recipe, just omit the Parmesan cheese.
Yeah.
And it still tastes good.
Yes, it still tastes really, really good, but I am a cheese addict, so I need cheese.
All right, what are you doing?
So we're going to, Kim already roasted these. You can cut these up into cubes and roast it with the onions or throw it in like this. And then it's soft enough that you can put a spatula into it. So we're going to add this I'm gonna fry up the onion, then add the squash in, and then we're going to puree it and add the rest of our stuff in. So.
I just cooked it at 375 for like an hour-ish, maybe an hour and a half, till it was soft. And that's it.
So since this is going to be pureed,
Yes.
it doesn't matter, you don't have to chop the onions.
Why I don't have to, I can rough chop it. We're gonna want to fry it until it's translucent. Oh. The ingredients.
Olive oil.
Tea. Do you want to party? Do you want to samba? Do you want to party?
So is the only difference in the vegan one that you just don't use cheese?
The cheese and then the heavy cream. That's it.
Okay. And we can throw the recipe down in the comments so that people can find it.
The vegan and the non-vegan recipe into the comments.
But the vegan recipe is mine. So I have to make it. I gotta go home and write it up for you too. Wait a minute.
Well, I'm such a demanding friend. Make a video for my YouTube channel.
Cook for me.
Come to the cook.
This was my idea.
So we put onions, olive oil,
black pepper, salt. I like whole fresh garlic, but we didn't have that on hand, so we got garlic powder. This works good too. Don't be afraid of the spices. I don't measure anything.
Let me see.
plenty of salt. But remember, you're seasoning two.
I'm doing two different ones.
Yeah. Wait, is that all the onion for both of them?
No, that's all. Got a little happy.
Okay. Well, you probably could do all the onions at once, right? Or do
Probably.
you
What do you think? Put them in, and then just separate the onions.
Yeah, and then just separate the onion out.
Do you hear that North Dakota accent coming out? Guys, I'm not from North Dakota.
All right, so we're sauteing both of the onions all at once because we got a little salt happy.
Just a little bit, but the onion is going to be divided between the two, so that's fine. We're making a double recipe. So while that gets going, you want to fry it till the onion is translucent. I'm sorry, I'm obsessed with the outside, guys, so.
This is the view outside of our Airbnb, and I will also put a link to that in the description in case you want to have this as your vacation view also.
Something to note for this recipe. Roasting it peels better than trying to peel it first. It peels easier.
Yeah, that's why I roasted it whole, because I could not get it to peel.
Yeah, if you would, please. So for most of the recipes that I've made,
And garlic.
I have tried to peel it before, and it's painful. I'm gonna do it like this from now on.
No, that was me. She didn't cut up anything.
No. Trying to ruin my pasta. If your son-in-law doesn't like this, it's your fault. For her, so. Okay, now I do this.
You need to be out of the kitchen.
What's going on, bud?
Oh, the blender is in the... Okay. Don't forget. I was just gonna say, don't forget you have 2 squash over there.
Yep.
Let's do a taste test. So this is the banana squash.
This is banana. This is the butternut. The original recipe calls for this one, and we're experimenting with this one. So we're gonna make them both, and then we're gonna try them both at the same time and see which one we like better. Our onions have been well fried. The squash is already fully cooked from the oven. If it's not fully cooked, you throw it in the pot with the onion at the same time to finish it. You just need it really soft. Now we're gonna walk it over to the blender. We're gonna throw it in there. You're gonna need broth, and you're gonna need almond milk for this too. Well, if you're going vegan, plant-based milk of your choice. It doesn't have to be almond, but the nuttiness of the almond brings out, this is like fall in a bowl, so the nuttiness of the almond milk goes really well.
So, and to be clear, you could roast all of this together and then put it from the pan into the into the blender, but we just sauteed the onions separately this time because I got a little happy with the...
Well, my dear friend cooked this for me while I went to the beach. She played with seashells today, so. All right, I'm gonna start with this here.
So the consistency of this needs to be what?
It's gonna be like an alfredo sauce. You could do it soupier if you want, but I don't go anything juicier than about a spaghetti sauce.
Okay. Because you want it to stick to the noodles.
You want it to stick to the noodles, yeah. Which, there's 2 different ways you can do the noodles. So the first way you can do the noodles is when the sauce is done, you can break up the noodles, like break them in half and put them in the sauce and then cook them in the sauce. The problem that I have found with that is it's too sticky and the noodles don't really turn out. So I cook the sauce in water like you normally would to about an al dente consistency, get the alfredo sauce done and finish cooking it all together in one pot. So that's about a cup of broth. And if you've made it and you find that it's a little too watery, you can add a thickening agent to it, like a little bit of flour or a little bit of cornstarch. Okay, I don't know how this works, friend.
Just turn this on and then you can sweep it. So pro tip really quick while she is adding a little bit more broth is when you're using your Vitamix, put it all the way to 10 because that's the power and speed at which the motor is supposed to run, and your motors will last longer. That is in the manual.
So another reason why I don't add instructions on like measuring is because everybody, like, you might get a smaller butternut squash, so you might not need as much broth or as much milk. This was a really big butternut squash, so I'm gonna use more broth than what might be in a recipe.
So what's really exciting to me is both of these squash came directly from my garden, and that just makes me all sorts of proud. So when do you add the almond milk to this?
We're gonna put this back into the pan, make sure that it is warm all the way through, and then we're going to add the almond milk and the nutmeg to it. That's one of the last steps. So this is about this is the consistency you're wanting it to come from, kind of like a baby food consistency coming out of the blender. If you don't have a Vitamix, you might have to leave it in your blender a little bit longer. All right, so we're back to our original pan where we sauteed the onions, and we're gonna pour that back in there. And we're going to try to get this to the consistency of like an alfredo sauce, because you can see that's still real thick. Ooh. My aunt is somewhere mad at me for, my Italian aunt is mad at me. Fettuccine pasta is the best for this recipe.
Because it's like a fettuccine alfredo.
Yes.
But fall.
This is gonna be a really big batch of alfredo, so hopefully you like it so you can store some and freeze it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have this feeling that I will. I like all your food.
Okay, so Kim, we're coming together in consistency here. See how it's soupy, but it's not like a squash soup. It's thicker than that. You want it to stick to your spoon. That's a perfect consistency right there. So that's what we're going for. Now we're going to add the nutmeg, and then we're going to sprinkle in the Parmesan cheese. Again, if you're wanting to go vegan, don't add the cheese and don't use dairy milk. Got it?
Yeah, it was coming up like this is covered in orange sauce. So now it looks chunky because the cheese has
Because the cheese needs to melt in there, yeah. Needs salt. Definitely needs salt. I'm actually gonna say it needs garlic too. Add some more pepper in. A little bit more nutmeg. Say you.
I like that part.
Say you. It's important to note, if you use a dairy milk or if you use a heavy cream at this stage, you do not want it to boil. You will curdle your milk. I've done it.
Curdled milk, yum.
Adds a little extra texture. Flavor too, maybe. Again. That's good. All right, I need a taste tester because I need to know if it needs more salt. I don't know how to judge this though. Does it need more salt? Does it? Did you get this reaction, people? The reveal.
They're so good. They're so smooth. I don't think it needs more salt, and if people want more salt, we can just have some.
Sounds good to me. So now we're going to make the banana squash, and it is the exact same thing because this is the first time I made it with banana squash, so we'll see.
texture on that. It's a little bit.
So I like it al dente. I don't like it super soggy. I would pull that off now if you like it a little bit softer. Maybe just a couple more minutes. All right. So we put this together. Same consistency, same idea. We added our extra seasonings to taste, and we're gonna have Kim taste this one now, and then we'll put it together. Okay, get this.
Okay, it's different though.
It's different. Don't go into this one thinking it tastes just like the butternut one. It's a completely different squash. I think I like that one better. It's more flavorful. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely a good use of that squash.
So,
it could actually be a little warmer, I think.
Yes. So, would you say that making it like this, it's smoother than when you tasted it straight as a squash from the skin?
Yes.
Or...
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna just...
I win, you guys! So, we're waiting for more blind taste tests. I just need one guinea pig. Georgie likes it. I thought you wanted it hotter. So the last step is going to be this wonderful garlic bread that she's got going on here, which Kim will have to tell you what's in that. Add the pasta and we're good to go.
So the garlic bread is really simple. It is just butter, salt, garlic bread, and then garlic powder. And then I use this. It's called Uncle Dan's. The other half is gone, but it's Uncle Dan's Classic Ranch, and I use about half a pack for 2 loaves of bread. This is my uncle's like secret recipe. So good, so good, I think. And so I make everybody else eat it.
No, it's true. It's really good.
So that was
And I don't do a lot of butter. Some people like a lot of butter, but this browns up really fast under broil. You broil it for like less than 2 minutes. And that browns the butter and just makes it yummy. Broil a lot of times in this.
Hang on, baby, hang on. Well, there's no broiling drawer on the bottom of this stove. FYI.
In case you were wondering.
Butternut.
That butternut is nice. Okay, getting close, Jasmine. Hold on.
So the butternut is the original recipe. The banana
Okay, and the banana tastes different, so don't expect them to taste the same.
switching gears.
This is a new dish.
Just a second, Amelia.
That's better! Yay! We have success, people! Yay!
Could I have a fork?
Oh. All right, everyone, how's dinner?
Two thumbs up!
Where's my little baby?
How's dinner, boys?
Double.
Double, double, double.